Hey everyone, Greenbeard here. Welcome back to another MLB 9 Innings 23 video on my channel. So today, we have enough Black Diamond pieces that we can take Ranger Suarez Black Diamond. Now the reason I'm choosing him over, say, Trevor Hoffman is because he's already in our lineup with skills. And while he's not doing, or at least prior to the change to Finn and Dom, prior to all these other updates, he's not been doing great, but he's already a Sig in our lineup, and he has skills, whereas Hoffman does not. So, even though it would save me, it would be faster, probably. No, actually, it's going to take the same amount of time either way. So, we're going to take Ranger Black Diamond first, and we will do our best to retrain him. We're low on resources because I tried to retrain Hector Neris, and as you can see, he still hits the Finn bonus and has more fastball than break, which is great because he doesn't have any breaking pitches. However, this card is friggin' dumb and requires a train of at least 14 to hit S tier on his fastballs, meaning there's approximately 3 or 4 possible trains total that could get him S tier pitches and have it be finesse. And we're talking about trains with like requiring 4 or less stamina, trains that are requiring at least 22 to location, like absurd trains. So I wasted nearly all my resources hoping we could get something that was even usable, with a little bit more fastball, but we could not get anything. So he's just going to have to deal. Long term, I'd like to get him a legend set and hopefully have it come with either Dom pitcher or neither, so that we can train him and make sure he actually hits S tier on his fastballs. In the meanwhile, we'll take Ranger Black Diamond. And, we got a couple greens. Where did it come from? I don't remember. From one of the events. There's a bunch of... There's like 3 or 4 events for the All-Star game. So we got 2 greens. We used one of them, and we got Last Boss with Bullpen Day. Obviously, there's no third, but I'm going to give it a shot because I figure it's going to be better than Pitcher's Insight and Dom, which was what he was running before. So we're just going to have to wait for some blues. Hopefully, we can land something in that 3rd slot soon. But it's better than what he was. Otherwise, I don't think we have any more updates for this team, other than we're going to hop in and take Ranger Black Diamond today. 161 BD pieces. Alright, we're going to go pitcher, Ranger Suarez. And part of the reason I want to do this too is, even with the limited resources we have, I should still be able to get him a better Finn train that has velocity too. Because as you can see right now, it's 3. So we should be able to get him more velocity in a Finn train. Even if it's not perfect, it should still be able to get us location 1 velocity 2 on this card, without needing to go break 3. Because he hits S tier on his fastball and breaking pitches pretty easily. So, taking him Black Diamond, getting him those extra points of special train, getting the extra points from the Black Diamond bonus, all of that should help, and we'll be able to retrain him, and go from there. So, to be honest, we probably don't even need to open packs to cap him out. And, in the past, I've been like, well, I'll do some packs and some special training material. And then I was like, wait, why? Because special training material can only be used for special training, right? So, like, why would we even use player cards if we have so much special training material sitting in the background? So, yeah, so we've capped them out. We still have a ton of diamond special train material, but we don't really have anyone else we need to use it on. So, we will still open packs today. We'll do some combos. And then once we're done that, I'll go and train him, see what we can get, and we'll go from there. So we've got 86 of these. So let's open maybe 30. And then we'll combo them away. And we'll open a handful of packs, do some combos, etc. And see what we can pull. Because, like I said, we don't need special training right now. But that's a cool card. That's Bronson Arroyo. That's a really... They kind of screwed him over with his base stats there. With the way the game is now, he should not have 68 base velocity with a season where he had 184 strikeouts. By today's standards, he's probably sitting at least 71 or 72 velocity with that many strikeouts. Now, I know he threw more innings than a lot of guys throw nowadays, but I think that's kind of unfair to him, and part of that is power creep. A lot of older cards, a lot of older Sigs. Ooh, Wander Franco, he's having a pretty good year. I'd love to hold on to that card, but I don't need to, so I'm not going to. Hey, we have one. Can we pull Pete Alexander? Nope. Vince Velasquez. Okay. Where's our... Oh, we have... totally missed over these. We have 300 premium player packs. I think the goal is going to be to open about 100 of them today. Or we're going to try to get down to around having 200 total. Lou Trevino. That's... I remember him having a better year than those base stats gave him, but that's okay. Bruce Hurst. That's a vintage we'll hold on to for some combos in the future. There's a lot of stuff I've been doing on this team. Hey, Ranger. Lately, where it's just I'll do it on my own time rather than recording it, because there's a lot of little things, and you know, with my schedule being a little more hectic, trying to find time to record every little thing rather than in one big chunk like I'm doing right now has been a little difficult. But, you know, we do what we can, so let us go and combo. Alright, so we're going to do... No, not you. We're going to do... Yeah, let's do a diamond, 2 golds, and 2 silvers. See what we get. Okay, so we did get some diamonds back. Taylor Ward. I don't remember what his stats are like this year, but it seems to be a pretty good card, but it's okay. We pulled a Ledmus Diaz. Bye-bye, Wander. All right. And we are getting some pretty good shuffles here from a diamond Matt Strom. He had a ridiculous start to the year for the Phillies this season, and it looks like he's just gotten tired. Like, it looks like his arm is not able to hold up for the amount of innings that the Phils are having him pitch, because he seems to have fallen off a cliff pretty quickly. Right, so combo luck has slowed down a little bit. That's all right. Again, it's not like any... Outside of, like, primed or something, it's not like we're looking for too many normal cards. I don't know if these combos are going to work, but I'm going to do them just because we have more silvers than golds right now. Alright, Matt Barnes. Let's do 2 and 3. Just trying to clear up space and see what we can get. Jesse Chavez. That weird period where he was like a long man, but also a starter. It was like kind of before they had the whole opener concept, so he was kind of like an opener back then, before an opener was a thing. So, you know, good on Jesse Chavez being a trendsetter. Alright, so 2 non-shuffles, but we've got to shuffle again. No diamonds, though. And, you know, it's going to probably not be the easiest to pull diamonds from these kinds of shuffles, but... well, I'd like to pull Pat Burrell. So, a couple things that I wanted to bring up real quick. At the time I'm recording this, I've had some videos drop recently, and I've had some questions come up. One of them being, why did you retrain Catfish? Why did you change his skills when the requirement for Dom is suddenly less? You know, with the recent update, you only need +5 to hit either Fin or Dom. The reason I did that, of course, is because I recorded that video before we even knew that they were making those changes. So, at the time, there was no reason to suspect they were going to change those values. And he was performing very poorly for me. And I had been thinking about it for a while because the card just was not built for Dom, especially the way Dom used to be. It still isn't built for Dom great, even with only needing +5. It's possible, but it's going to be one hell of a difficult train to hit. But it's possible now, but it was much more difficult before. So I'm okay. I think I'd rather roll with Fin Touch Control Master than what he had anyway, so it doesn't bother me too much. But yes, the reason for that was that I recorded that before. Basically, what I've been doing is recording in large chunks, where I'll record like 3 or 4 weeks worth of videos in the matter of a couple days, and then I'll grind like all the time in between there. And the reason for that being just that it's easier, and they seem to be dropping a lot of stuff like in chunks, like in pockets. So I don't want to have to, you know, unlike some other channels, I like to jump in and be a part of something new when it happens. But, you know, I also want to make sure that the content gets spread out. I don't want to dump 3 videos in 1 week and then in a couple weeks after that have nothing for you guys. So that is why we're doing it this way. So I record a bunch of videos back to back to back. There was a period there where I had like 4 or 5 videos on YouTube with dates set for them to drop, and then I didn't record again for like 4 weeks or something. Yeah, it was something crazy like that. So, you know, that's just kind of part of it. So that's why that is how it is. I've also had some people ask me about sig changing, and because we know I'm going to do it, and I've mentioned, you know, oh man, I don't need to sig change Mike Schmidt anymore. We've got his Supreme now. Unless they change his sig card and give him more field, that would be the only reason I would sig change him, and I would be kind of pissed because I've already put so much time and effort and money into getting his Supreme. But if they were to, you know, because they keep talking, they use the example of Mookie Betts 20 and how he has 50 field, and they're like, oh yeah, well we know, and at some point we've got a plan to change it. If they do change it, and Mike Schmidt is a card that gets boosted fielding, that's great for Phillies decks. It's kind of frustrating they would do that after the card is out of the game, which is why I don't think they're going to. But that would be the only way that I would sig change Mike Schmidt. And otherwise, my next thought for sig changing would be to sig change Steve Carlton. Now, I know my rotation is full right now, and that's great. I don't want to take anything away from the cards I have, but my rotation is kind of a weak point in my team right now. Rotation and bullpen. We're working on bullpen. We can't do much until we get better skills on our bullpen. Let's do 10 more alts. So we can't really do much more until we get better skills on our bullpen. So that's just a matter of time. We now have Ranger Black Diamond, so we can hunt for better skills on him once we get a better set on Neris. And then we can look for skills on Ranger. We can try to finish off and replace Pitching Machine on both Giles and Holland. There's a lot to do in that regard. Do we have? Yeah, we do. So there is a lot to do in that regard. And, you know, of course, Carlton would definitely take a backseat in priority to a lot of these other guys, which is why I'm not doing it yet. That's why I'm going to hold off. But I do think I want to sig change him because he's the best Phillies starting pitcher they've had in the game. I know he doesn't have the best location and velocity, but as they're pushing in this game to have more balanced stats, I'm totally on board with it. He can easily hit 130 stamina, and I don't know how much or how important stamina is overall because they told us it's more important. It seemed to be more important, and then why did we go there? And then they changed things again. So we'll see how that shakes out. I don't know if he needs to be trained for that much, but he could easily hit it. So that should probably help too. But he's also going to easily hit S tier on all his pitches. And he's a great card. And he's the best Philly starting pitcher of all time. So why would I not want him on my team? So, again, we will hold off because I want to get Trevor Hoffman in the bullpen. I want to figure out the bullpen first and foremost. And then we'll go from there. And we'll figure it out, you know, when all of a sudden we have, you know, and a lot of Black Diamond pieces and nothing to work on, that's when we would take a look at Carlton and sig changing him. But we're not at that point just yet. But that is my thought process, and that's why I'm thinking that way. Other options, of course, would be Kyle Schwarber, because somehow he has a good field, even though anybody who's watched the Phillies this year knows that he's a bumbling idiot in left field. In left field, like not even right field, like left field, like he's a terrible fielder. But somehow that card has good enough field and speed that, you know, it's a workable card. It's actually a really good card if we're going pure hitting stats. Since they changed the BIU requirements, Greg Lazinski could easily hit BIU without needing to train speed to be third, which is what it would have had to be before. His contact was so high before and his speed was so low that you would have needed to train. You would have needed to train probably I1, Power 2, Speed 3. Now he doesn't need that. You can go straight. All three, you know, special train order can go all into, let's start doing this because we have a ton of golds. So, you know, all his batting stats are ridiculous. If we want to go for a retired card, of course, we can always go with, we have Lenny Dykstra. We don't have him diamond, but we do have his silver, so we could sig change him, but we would need a GI. So if we were to do that, we would probably wait until the off-season GI. And we'd probably do off-season GI him and then sig change him. So there are options. Dykstra is a very good card, but his field's really in a weird place. So he'd probably end up actually being like a good card to have in your outfield in your corner spot because it's slightly better field than average, but it's not great, you know. So that would be an option too. But we'll see. Since I'm not going to get team select sig packs on this team anymore, you know, sig changing a player still in the game is definitely still on the table. So, yeah. All right, so this is going pretty slow, so I'm going to finish up these combos on my own time, and then we'll go open a few more packs, and then I'll try to retrain Ranger, and I'll show you what we end up with. All right, so let's do 10 of these live alt packs, and then we'll hop into the fun stuff of the higher grade packs. No Phillies, Spencer Strider having a up and down season. It looks like, you know, on paper, if you look at the Braves, a lot of their pitchers outside of Fried are kind of up and down. and they just keep winning ball games anyway, so you got to give them props. I don't like to give them props because I would rather them fall off a table. Hey, that's a diamond vintage. We'll take Don Baylor. Nice. All right. I don't know if you can get legends out of these. I don't know if you can. Hey, there's a prime. Hey, that's fun. I don't remember what team it's on, but we have a diamond Dan Otero on one of our teams. Okay, so nothing there. Let's take Grant Balfour. All right. Why not? Let's use 10 diamond packs for the fun of the animation. All right. Any vintage? No vintage. Just a bunch of normal cards. It's okay. Don't need to use either of any of those right now. And then we'll do this prime pack. Anything fun? No Syndergaard. All right. So that'll wrap up this part of the video. I will go and try to retrain Ranger, and I'll show you when we have a better fin train than what he's got right now. All right, so this is a train we have on him. Ideally, I would like less fastball or to have fastball and break swapped because we're going to have to go 2 to break in order to get his break up there, but it should be serviceable in the meanwhile until we get more resources to get him a better train. So we're going to go 2 to location, 5 to velocity, and 2 to break. All right. Let's see. 39 of these. So we use 2 of these and then a +3 velocity. Yep, okay. And that should be at least serviceable for now. Get him velocity 2, get his velocity up there, and he's looking a lot nicer, a lot cleaner for what we want on the card. All right, so as you can see, he's got all S-tier pitches. That wasn't an issue when he was diamond. It's not an issue black diamond either, but hopefully that will help him be a little more solid in that fixer role, even though the set isn't doing great. Hopefully those skills will help out with, being a little better for us. So, with that being said, that should wrap it up for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.